there and welcome to 31 Days of Halloween Down the Red Rabbit Hole. I'm Olivia Isaac Henry. I'm the author of 4 novels, Someone You Know, The Verdict, Sorry Spring and my latest Hallows Hill, whose story starts on Halloween 20 years ago. I've been asked by the Red Rabbit Hole to talk about a spooky tale and to answer some questions. But I'm going to start with a question of my own, which is, who put Bella in the WITCHELM? This is a true crime story from close to where I grew up in Worcestershire, and it served as the inspiration for Hallows Hill. On the 18th of April 1943, during the Blitz, when the towns and cities to the north of Worcestershire, north of the Worcestershire village of Hagley were burning, 4 local lads went hunting for birds' eggs in Hagley Woods, trespassing on a piece of land belonging to the Hagley Hall estate. One of them spotted a bird flying into a tree. On investigation, they found that the trunk was hollow. One of the boys reached in and retrieved a strange white object, and it turned out to be a skull. The boys were frightened and also worried they'd be in trouble for trespassing. They replaced the skull and agreed to tell no one and ran home, but the youngest lad lay awake at night and he was scared and told his parents. By the morning, the police had arrived, and this particular tree of the type Ulmus glabra, a wych elm, became synonymous with murder. You can see that the tree was heavily pollarded and the trunk was actually hollow, and inside they found a young woman, the skeleton of a young woman. She was fully clothed in blue and mustard coloured striped cardigan and a mustard coloured skirt and blue crepe soled shoes size 5.5. She also wore a wedding ring. However, there were few other clues to her identity, and despite extensive inquiries, nobody knows why she was killed. Neither her name nor that of her murderer have ever been discovered. Despite the strange method used to conceal her body, the case may have been forgotten. After all, this was the middle of a war. But 2 things happened. Firstly, rumours began to circle of an occult killing. Secondly, graffiti began to appear in the surrounding area. Who put Lubella down the wych elm? Who put Bella down the wych elm, Hagley Wood, or simply, who put Bella in the wych elm? Since the graffiti appeared, and despite never knowing her real name, the murder victim has been known as Bella. The method of concealing her body, being stuffed in the trunk of a hollow tree, fueled the occult rumours. The word witch, W-Y-C-H, has no connection with the word witch, W-I-T-C-H, meaning sorceress, but the distinction was not really recognised. The fact that the body was confined was reminiscent of the graves of women convicted of witchcraft, which would have boulders placed on top, or in some cases iron spikes driven through them to stop the body being reanimated by the devil as a revenant. This theory was forwarded by anthropologist Margaret Murray in her book The Witch Cult in Western Europe. She went on to claim that Bella's hand was taken to create a hand of glory. This is an example in the museum. This is traditionally the dried and pickled hand of a hanged man and is used as a candlestick, and whoever looks upon it will be stupefied. This is the recipe. It must be cut from the body of a criminal on the gibbet, pickled in salt, in the urine of man, woman, dog, horse and mare, smoked with herbs and hay for a month, hung on an oak tree for 3 nights running, then laid across the crossroads and hung on the church door for 1 night. Lovely. Actually, Bella's hand was some distance away, probably due to predation by animals. There's no evidence it was taken and used as a hand of glory. But Margaret Murray went on to claim that Bella was a witch, and her murder was linked to that which occurred in Lower Quinton, 30 miles from Hagley, where farm worker Charles Walton was impaled with a pitchfork. There have been multiple investigations trying to find out at least Bella's true identity. The last police investigation was in the 1990s. When no progress was made, it was decided that the chances of anyone brought to trial were minimal and the case closed. Any subsequent investigations involving Bella have been hampered by the fact that her skeleton has been lost, so DNA analysis is no longer available and can't provide clues. This has fueled a second set of rumours associated with the case that Bella was a spy. A woman called Una Mossop said her husband Jack admitted to the murder and said that Bella was a Dutch woman working for the German Secret Service. He and another man called Van Raup placed her in the WITCHELM as a punishment. Again, there's no corroborating evidence for this, but it is known that Jack Mossop had repeated visions of a woman staring out at him from a tree and was confined to a mental asylum where he later died. The loss of the skeleton has led to talk of a cover-up. However, as with many things in life, it seems malice is no match for incompetence, and it's most likely that the skeleton was mislaid or mislabelled when it was removed from its last known place, the Tally-Ho police station in central Birmingham. And so it seems we will never find out who put Bella in the WITCHELM. As a lack of concrete facts hasn't stopped those purporting to write non-fiction from wild speculation, as a fiction writer I have no qualms in using the rumours surrounding Bella's occult killing as the inspiration for my novel Hallows Hill. Instead of being found in the trunk of the tree in Hadley Woods at the bottom of Adams Hill, or Clent Hill as it's also known, my victim is found in the stone circle at the top of the hill. This isn't a Neolithic circle, but one of several follies on the Hadley Hall estate. Follies were popular in 18th century landscape design. They were grand structures with no link to the surrounding environments. Across stately homes you can find Chinese pagodas and Egyptian pyramids. As well as a stone circle, the Hadley Hall estate boasts a ruined castle, a Greek temple and an Egyptian obelisk. This sits on top of Witchbury Hill, overlooking the site of Bella's murder, and every so often these words are sprayed upon it. Who put Bella in the WITCHELM? Notice how the word witch is spelt incorrectly. My book Hallows Hill starts on Halloween when 5 friends carry out a dare, which nearly every teenager in the village has done. It's a summoning ritual in the stone circle, which will call forth the spirit of the murdered woman Bella, and she will tell your fortune. Unlike the teenagers before them, Mia has a vision of the dead woman, and she's told one of her friends is going to die. By morning this comes true. The murder is blamed on an escaped madman, but rumours of an occult killing start to swirl. 20 years later, once again on Halloween, Mia meets up with her friends and she receives another prophecy. They will all be dead by Christmas. One by one the friends start to die, but is this the vengeful spirit of a murdered woman who is hunting them down, or is one of them a killer? So that's the story of Bella in the WITCHELM and a brief introduction to my book. But the Red Rabbiters want a bit more, so I've got to answer a couple of questions. Have you ever seen a ghost? When I was a child, I used to see the shadow of a boy cross in front of my room at night, in the little strip of light when the doors are a little bit ajar. There was only one boy in the house, my brother, and it wasn't him. The shadow only ever went in one direction towards my parents' room, and it never came back. Strange enough, I never felt scared. Where's the creepiest place you have visited? My friend used to work in the Tower of London, which meant I was allowed to go in there after hours. It's a completely different place after dark when all the tourists have gone. You can really sense the despair of those who were once held within the walls. What Halloween traditions do you have in your house? Well, we like to watch 2 horror films, one classic and one new. So this year the classic is either going to be Poltergeist, which I haven't seen since I was a teenager, or The Ring. For our new one, I'm hoping to watch Bring Her Back, but I'm not sure if it's on streaming yet. We'll see. What's the most horrifying death out of your books? I'm not one for too much gore, but possibly a decapitation. Anyway, that's all we've got time for today. I'd like to thank you for being here with me in the dark little hole and remind you to follow Red Rabbit on social media. Do subscribe as it costs nothing and it makes a big difference to the podcast. It encourages your usual hosts, Envy Peacock and Lisa Shepherd, to continue with their mad ramblings. And you can find my links in the show notes. So take a look at my book and happy Halloween.